What's up, everybody? Mark with Coffee&Toys, bringing you another Masters of the Universe MasterVerse figure unboxing and review. And today, I'm telling you right now, we have a long one because I have been wanting to open these up and I have just not gotten to it yet. So I decided, hey, I'm going to do this entire set all at once. Of course, I am talking about the latest set of MasterVerse figures released from Mattel, and that is, of course, the following: MasterVerse Clamp Champ, MasterVerse Skeletor, MasterVerse Prince Adam, and last but certainly not least, MasterVerse Webstor. Let's talk about it. So like I said, I have been sitting on these figures for a little while now, and every day I walk into my office and I see them laying on the floor and I tell myself, today I'm going to do these reviews. I'm going to open these figures up because they look so awesome, and then something happens and I just miss them, or something comes in from FedEx or the USPS, and I review that instead. And I said today, nope, I'm going to do them all. I'm going to knock them all at once. You're going to join this with me. You're also going to hit that like button real quick. And we are going to go ahead and see what this line of MasterVerse is all about. If you haven't watched any of my videos before, you know that I am an out-of-box collector, but we will review the figure in the box, and then we'll take it out of the package. We'll review each of the figures. We'll talk about them, and then at the end I'll give you my final thoughts once I have them fully accessorized, and kind of give you my opinion whether they should be picked up or not if you choose to do that. That being said, if you haven't already, please check out my Lady Slither review, because if you watch to the end of that video, you can learn how you can score your own Masters of the Universe Origins Lady Slither. I'm going to close that contest probably tomorrow evening, and then I'll announce the winner probably Tuesday. So, with that being said, let's hop on over and let's start out this review with, I don't know, you'll have to come over and see. Okay, so I decided we'd start this review out with Prince Adam as seen in Masters of the Universe Revelation. And of course, Prince Adam is a, teenager, young man, and so we appropriately get the smaller size body Prince Adam. Now, of course, he comes in that MasterVerse packaging with the plastic open window. Of course, on the top it says MasterVerse. We have 30 points of articulation. And of course, we have the logo down at the bottom, Prince Adam. And if we look at the side, we do see Prince Adam holding the power sword kind of nonchalantly, as, a typical teenager probably would. And of course, on the back, we get that beautiful artwork showing that, Prince Adam, heroic secret identity of He-Man. He-Man did it. He finally defeated Skeletor, but in doing so, it cost him his life and his secret identity. His friends and family are shattered by the truth that He-Man was actually Prince Adam all along. After coming back from Preternia, Prince Adam has a second lease on life and another chance to make things right with those he loves the most. And of course, if you've watched the MasterVerse Revelation, then you realize that is indeed pretty accurate to the show. And of course, you got the cross cell down here at the bottom. We will be reviewing all these figures in this very video, but we will be starting with Prince Adam. And of course, on the side, we have Prince Adam, heroic secret identity of He-Man. So, that being said, let's get Prince Adam out of the box and start playing around with this figure. Okay, here we have it. We have Prince Adam out of his package, and I'm really enjoying this figure. The face is a little cartoony for me, but it's not terrible. But I am enjoying just the slenderness of the figure. It really makes that teenage character of Prince Adam really stand out, especially against some of the other Masters figures. He's going to be so much smaller than them that I think it's going to look really cool on my collecting shelf. Of course, we have like I said, that head sculpt, a very young Prince Adam looking very good. And I think that, I think Mattel did a very good job at knocking this out of the park. It looks very well done. And of course, he has all the articulation of a MasterVerse figure. Like we said, the 30 points of articulation. Zoom back out here. And of course, he's got the bicep cut. He's got the bend at the elbow. He's got his wrist turn. The vest doesn't seem to hinder his movement, so that's good. Of course, he's got the thigh cut. He bends at the midsection, or I'm sorry, at the waist. He does seem to have an ab crunch. Now that's a little affected by the vest, but nothing terrible. Actually, it looks like this vest might come out. Oh, that's interesting. That just pops right off. So interesting. I wonder why they did that. I figured it all would have been molded as one piece. And now I probably won't be able to get it back on. Guess we'll find out. Not too bad. And of course, he's got double jointed knees. He does have a boot cut. It is at the bottom of the, well, I thought, yeah, he does. It's up here. And of course, he's got the ball joint foot that goes up and down, left to right. Now, of course, Prince Adam is not alone. He does come with a few accessories. The first one is the alternate portrait, which I really like that they gave him the funny laughing face. So I'll zoom in so you can see that. Of course, he's got his eyes shut and he's just laughing and reminisces back to that age-old meme of He-Man. So it's funny that they gave us that. He does also come with 2 extra fists. Not that we are going to see Prince Adam throw down, but, you know, it's always nice to have extra hands. He does come with the Power Sword. Now, this is the same Power Sword we've seen with the other He-Men that have been available in this line, so nothing too exciting there. However, I think the exciting one is actually the alternate Power Sword, which is translucent, just a clear plastic, and it does have, it's hard to show up on the camera right now. There, you can see it. It does have sparkly flecks in the plastic. Looks much better than, unfortunately, what I'm catching with the light right now. It does look a lot better in person. I really like this. So yeah, let's take a minute to get Prince Adam accessorized, and then we'll see what he looks like, and we'll move on to the next characters after that. Okay, so I did decide to give him his cheesy face. I did put one of the fists on his left hand, and I put the Power Sword, the translucent version, in his hand, just to see what it looked like. And it's kind of interesting because the hand's so small, it actually does appropriately look oversized for this figure. So that's a really cool feature. I do like it. For you guys wondering, I can't keep it. I can't keep this face on here. It just looks so damn corny. But there's the face. I'm going to show you real quick. Obviously, it's just a pop off. And I'm going to put this face back on there because my Prince Adam is going to be semi-serious when he's holding the Power Sword. So yeah, actually, wow, that blends in really well with the black background. So yeah, there we go. There's Prince Adam. And yeah, I think this is a cool figure, but let's go ahead and wrap Prince Adam up and go to the next figure. And I've decided to stick with the Heroic Warriors and go with Revelation Clamp Champ. Now, if you recall from the show, he had a very brief appearance before he was killed by Skeletor and reanimated as a zombie. But yeah, he was definitely very cool in the program, and just looking really good in that package. I'm not going to go over the entire package again, but we are going to spin over to the side. We're going to look at that beautiful artwork once again, showing his accessory as he's just holding it. And then on the back, of course, we have Clamp Champ, Heroic Master of Capture. Evil warriors better get a grip, or Clamp Champ will give them one. Armed with his Techno Clamp, the Heroic Master of Capture puts his enemies in a pinch on the battlefield. As one of Eternia's greatest heroes, he protects the royal palace from the evil forces of Skeletor. Unfortunately, this is pretty much called out exactly from the cartoon series on Netflix, and he would die a few seconds after this. But that being said, he does look cool. One thing I did want to point out, and I almost forgot about it, is on the bottom of the package, it actually shows you how to put his accessory together. So very interesting. Of course, contents, one figure and accessories. What's this? Oh, service.mattel.com. I was curious what that was. But that being said, let's get Clamp Champ out of his package and start digging into this figure. And here we have him, Clamp Champ out of the package, and I must say, very impressed with this figure. I really like how the reds and the blue just pop off of his body. I wish this was a little darker. It's not bad. It just is, compared to the poppiness of the blue and the vibrant red, it just seems a little blah. It's not terrible, though. But I do like this figure a lot. I really like this head sculpt. So zooming in so you can see that head sculpt, that's just a excellent head sculpt. Like, this guy takes no crap from anybody. Looks wonderful. All around, great figure so far. Of course, it's using that standard He-Man buck, so, you know, we've seen it a number of times, but just like in the original figures back in the 80s, you can't really go wrong with it. Looks wonderful. Now, of course, Clamp Champ doesn't come with quite as many accessories. He does come with a couple of fist bump himself. So yeah, that's always good to have an extra set of fighting fists. Of course, he would be fighting as one of the protectors of Eternia. And then the big one is he does come with this very cool, I'm trying to figure out which way it goes. I think it goes this way, but maybe not. Maybe it goes this way. How does this work? So definitely has a feature. So that's cool. Didn't realize it had that. It does come apart just like this. So nothing too crazy about it. You can see these tabs right here. Just plug right in. And boom, you have your accessory. And just to kind of show you how it works, guess maybe it's easier if we actually take it apart. So he would actually hold on to this part right here. One would assume anyway. Guess we're going to go straight into the accessorizing. Normally there we go. So there's that. And then you just clamp it, clamp it onto Clamp Champ. And there you go. So very cool. And of course, like I said, you can force those claws open. I don't think they will stay open. Yeah, they bounce back into place. But it's nice to see that it has that action feature. So yeah, there's Clamp Champ in a nutshell. It does make him a little forward heavy, so he will not stand up very well. So you'll probably have to get him in some sort of battle stance to make him stand up. Or he'll just, fall over. So let me see if I can get him. There we go. Let's see how long he keeps that before he falls over. But yeah, there's Clamp Champ. And I can't complain. He is who he is. So I'm very impressed. So let's move on to some of the Evil Warriors and see what we got with that side of the house. Okay, moving forward with the new Eternia. So we have left Revelation and we are now into the new Eternia Masters of the Universe Webstor. So I'm very excited for this figure because Webstor was one of my favorites as a kid, and to see him in a modern, MasterVerse line of figures means he's going to be pretty cool, I imagine. So of course, you can see what his loadout is here, but on the bottom, I think it does the same thing. It tells us how to actually use his device. And as you can see, it's not simple. It's got some detail to it. And of course, there he is. On the side, we have some beautiful artwork. Looks like he's down in a cavern, just being spidery. I don't know. And then, of course, on the back, we do have a beautiful picture of him. We have the cross cell, and of course it's Webstor, evil master of escape. Many moons ago, when Castle Grayskull shattered into the 7 winds, pieces of it fell into Webstor's web. Now the devious Trapmaster lies patiently in waiting on the Isle of Arachnia. He knows that it's only a matter of time before another greedy adventurer wanders into his lair seeking treasure or even the power of Grayskull itself. Now that's interesting. What's this whole Castle Grayskull shattered into the 7 winds? I have no idea what that means, so drop me a comment if you know what that means, because I'm seeing Castle Grayskull right back there. But very interesting. I love the mythos they're building for the new Eternia. So yeah, very interesting indeed. Of course, we have the side that says Webstor, evil master of escape. But yeah, let's get Webstor out of his package and really dig into this figure. Okay, we have Webstor out of his packaging, and first impressions, I am in love with this figure. It is so cool. I took a moment, and we'll get into it in a minute, but I took a minute to kind of play around with the accessories. But the first thing I noticed is these eyes. They are so, it's almost, they're not quite translucent, but there's something about them. The light really, look at that. The light really just gets caught in there. Maybe they are translucent. But I don't know if it's piping through the top eyes or if what, but man, it looks awesome. And of course, wow, it just looks great. So of course you can see all the detail in his head sculpt, that arachnid look coming out. Very, very terrifying looking. So of course the rest of the figure is just a repaint of the Skeletor body. Nothing too exciting there. But the armor's great. It's got a hint of metallic looking. And of course, these claws in the back that can be spun around. They're on a ball joint, each one of them. So you can move them forwards, backwards. You know, you can really have some playability here. And looks very cool. Now, that being said, he does come with a couple other accessories. And we're really going to have to get into these because it took me a minute to figure it out. Now, he does come with his classic gun, cast in orange. So there it is. And as you can see, it has an area to hold this accessory. So this is his grapple. And we're going to take a minute to go through this because I see why they explain on the bottom of the package what you need to, pardon me, do with it, because this has a lot of playability. And of course, you've got the standard grapple, and you can fit it into the gun. So by simply plugging it into the top, there you go, and you can close this in. I guess I should spin it around. There we go. And then you can detach this piece, put it into the back of the gun, and then this piece simply plugs into the side. And now you have his weapon fully armored or loaded out. And of course, you can still move out the grapples. So that in itself is pretty cool, but there is much more to this. So we can simply unplug the back of the gun, unplug this, take this out, put it off to the side. And here's where the cool stuff comes in. You can actually detach this part of the backpack, and as you can see, there is some detail on it. Oops. There's the back of the backpack, and it just clips on. But the cool thing is that you can actually gently plug that into there, put the backpack back on, and then, I'm just moving these spider arms out of the way, you can actually detach it enough inside there so you can do the classic action. I'm sorry, I didn't actually put the bottom piece back on. There we go. So now you can actually do the classic Webstor, have him go across his web line. And I don't know about you guys, but I think that's pretty cool. And let me see if I can get that in his hand real quick without making such a crazy mess. So yeah, that is very cool. Of course, he, besides coming with the grapple and the gun, he does come with a pair of hands, which are, interestingly enough, only one fisted hand. Show you that. And then he has this kind of grabbing claw hand that I actually really like. So that was interesting that he came with only one fighting fist hand and a grabbing claw. So I am very impressed with this figure. So they've knocked this one out of the park, in my opinion. That being said, we have one more figure to review, and that's Skeletor. So let's jump over to old Boneface. And finally, we have the MasterVerse version, the Revelation version, I should say, of Skeletor when he was an apprentice of Horde. This is the one I've been looking the most forward to overall because Skeletor is my favorite bad guy. And of course, you can see he's got the Horde colors on him, the Revelation logo, and on the side we see him with with his staff and with that Horde colored outfit. And of course, beautiful artwork on the back of him coming out of that portal, just like he did in the cartoon series. Skeletor, Evil Lord of Destruction. Skeletor's relationship with Evil Lyn dates back to when she was but a vagrant living in the gutters. A servant of Hordak at the time, Skeletor rescued Evil Lyn from an angry mob, enhanced her magic, and gave her a place to belong. Not out of any sense of heroism or chivalry, but rather out of the desire to expand his own evil power. Again, fully shows how just evil Skeletor is. But yeah, so there he is in the package, and we're going to get him out of the package and see what he's all about. Okay, Skeletor has been freed from his plastic prison, and oh man, first things first, this head sculpt, perfection. I really wish this was the head sculpt on the first MasterVerse figure we got. Man, just absolutely perfect. I love this figure. I hope they come out with this head again on another Skeletor, because, you know, part of me almost wants to take it and try to paint it purple and give it to my regular Revelation Skeletor, you know, the one that sat on shelves forever and no one bought. But man, that head sculpt is just awesome. It's even got texture on the hood. And speaking of the hood, he comes with this cloth goods cape, which also has a hood. So we can do kind of a, I don't know why it's, I guess you could pull it deep over his face because it's open on the back. But not really sure what they're trying to go for, unless you wanted to do something like this to kind of set it back deeper. But it does tuck in nicely underneath his hood, so you can just, there's a little Velcro area right here. I guess you can change there's some Velcro right here if you want to, I think it's Velcro. Yeah, but I digress. It's very nice. He also has some, this is not cloth. I thought it was at first, but it's just textured like the hood, like the plastic hood. Of course, he's got the Horde logo right there, looking very nice. And of course, you can take this completely off. He says, he says you can. Interesting. So it's actually attached on his head, so you can actually pop his head off. Maybe. There we go. And put it back on. So we can actually have Skeletor without the hood on, and you can see that his head doesn't want to turn back too much. It is kind of hampered by the back of the armor, but I mean, he just looks fantastic. I remember seeing him come out like that in the cartoon and thinking to myself, man, he looks a lot better in that outfit than he does now. Of course, Skeletor doesn't just come with the cape / hood. He comes with his crazy Havoc staff, which this one's been cast in gray with a translucent red ram head, and I love it so much. It looks so much better. And we've seen them do that in the Origins line, where they've released the Skeletor staff, Havoc staff, with, gosh, if I can get it in his hand. This is some hard plastic going on here. I think we're going to cheap out and go this way. But yeah, there we go. So there he has the Havoc staff in his hand, and he does come with a pair of fists. So once again, we have a left and a right fist bump. And yeah, oh man, I tell you, I am digging this Skeletor. Ooh, I'm digging him a lot. He's going to get a prominent display in my old front and center, I think, on the old display. Otherwise, I mean, it's really... Sorry, I turned away to look at the other Skeletor just to see if there was any other difference. Pretty much everything's the same body-wise, same body, just a new head, some new accessories, and yeah, I love the way this figure looks. So, speaking of that, before we go on to kind of doing some final thoughts, we'll rank them 1 through 4, see what we think about it. But if you've made it this far so far, hit the like button. Make sure you drop a comment. Tell me which one of these figures you like the most, because I'd be really interested in hearing what you guys have to say. But yeah, let's cut over, do some comparisons of the figures, and some final thoughts. Okay, so I got all 4 figures from the wave lined up, and man, I think it'd be really hard to put these in order. But if I was going to go 4 through 1, I would probably put... Oh, this is tough. I guess I would put Prince Adam at number 4. Mostly because he's more cartoony looking than the rest of them. So that kind of... I wish he had more of I wish he had less of a cartoony face. But I love the size of the figure, and I love the translucent power sword. I think that's great. The laughing face that comes with him is fun, but not really usable in the most part. So number 4 would go to Prince Adam. Number 3 would go to Clamp Champ, who is a spectacular figure. Looks like he came straight out of the cartoon show Revelation. I wish he would have had one more accessory, but I don't know what that accessory would be. His clamp is awesome. I like that it's got the mechanical ability. And then, of course, that would put number 2. This was tough because I think my bias is showing, but number 2 would be Webstor. And that's only because he's not Skeletor. Webstor is fantastic. Wonderful upgrade with the new Eternia. Love the playability, how they switched out the grappling hook that I can use it both in his backpack or as part of his gun. And those translucent eyes, man, those are just awesome. But number one spot, of course, is going to go to Skeletor, because this is the Skeletor we should have gotten when the first wave of Revelation figures from MasterVerse came out. That head should have been on the original body. I love the red, how it pops off the purples. I love the cloth goods cape and hood. Yeah, just a solid figure. My favorite overall of the four. But you guys tell me, which of these four are your favorite? Is Webstor your number one? Is Clamp Champ your number one? Did anybody pick Prince Adam as number one? I would love to know if you'd leave me a comment. But yeah, so wonderful wave. If you haven't picked them up yet, I believe they are still available at all the major online toy resellers, Big Bad Toy Store, Entertainment Earth. Heck, you might be able to find these at your Targets now. I am not sure. But definitely worth picking up. Otherwise, I'm glad you've made it through this far to the video. I love putting out these videos for you guys. I do multiple reviews a week. And yeah, always doing some giveaways. So make sure that you check out that Lady Slither video and find out how you can win your own Origins Lady Slither. But with that, I'm Mark. You've been watching Coffee with Toys, and I'll see you later.